Alright, so this is gonna be a quick guide on my somewhat consistent setup for the Ulysses out of bounds for any percent. Now, when I say somewhat, I really do mean somewhat, because it's been getting kind of consistent for me lately, but I can imagine that new people trying to learn this are gonna have trouble, because it's still pretty random, but yeah, well, I mean, I don't think it's gonna get much more consistent than it already is, so might as well make a guide on it to hopefully make it a bit more accessible. Anyway, before we start, I quickly want to mention that you can see by the input displays that I'm doing this one on emulator. That's because there's a few parts to this level that I want to mention, and I thought instead of restarting it several times on console, I'll just use save states. Don't worry though, the trick works the same on console. You can see that in my current world record, for example. And it even works on the PAL version. I tested that on a PS TV I have, and it worked exactly the same, despite that version being much slower. Anyway, let me start up the level. We are on a finished file, but it doesn't matter. The level stays the same, so we can still do the trick just fine. So we start up the level normally. Just skip this and move towards this door. Now there's like a cutscene with Rourke. I'm gonna make a quick save state, and it's a little bit weird. Like if I just jump into it, I have to like wait a second for his dialogue to load to be able to skip it. But if I like kind of like slowly walk to about here, wait, let me just, yeah, like you can just trigger his dialogue. You can skip that, and then you can just trigger the cutscene and skip it immediately. So like ideally you would want to, yeah, like you can load them at the same time pretty much. But what I found, like this is for the, like if you wanna be safer about it, you can do that. Then go in here. You can even grab the checkpoint if you feel like it, and first aid kit over here. So because you're gonna have to take damage for this trick, so you might wanna have a backup. Don't mind all the other stuff. As I said, I'm on a finished file, so yeah, you're not gonna have all this, but yeah, because you only have 50 HP, and yeah, but if you go immediately left, yeah, you can just do that. Like I only just discovered that, or like I only just thought of trying that recently. Like my current world record has this in it, even though that's like because mainly I wanna grab this first aid kit, as I said, just to be safe. But yeah, theoretically the fastest way should be not jumping into that box, but like going as much left as you can, and like going straight towards this door. Anyway, that's up to you. It's like even if you just straight up jump into it like that, it's not gonna lose too much, but it's just a thing to keep in mind. Anyway, when you get over here, you make a save state again. You wanna pick up this book and immediately skip it. That's because it's gonna be in the way, so like you are gonna pick it up unless you get the out of bounds first try, which is very unlikely. Now, you wanna be really careful with this barrel, because while you can push it forward, you can't pull it back. So if you push it too far forward, you basically have to reset and do the entirety of Whitmore's Mansion again. So, okay. Now for this, you wanna just tab D-pad, and while holding your right analog stick all the way up, so the camera zooms in like this. And what I like to do is, I don't think my mouse is gonna be visible. Give me a second. Capture cursor. Is that gonna work? No, it's hiding my cursor. Oh, god damn it. Is there a way I could like, well, basically, you can see there's like little dots on the, like, on the right side of the barrel. There's like this line, and then there's like little dots to the right of it, or 4 on each square on the ground. Basically, what I like to do is push the barrel's right edge like that, so it's right next to the second dot on this last square, and then I just really, like, as lightly as possible tap D-pad, like that should be perfect. And then basically you just have to kind of keep running into the gap and hope for the best. As I said, yeah, it's mainly about the placement of the barrel. Like, this part I don't think you can really do much about, besides being lucky, because you basically need to, like, force yourself into the barrel and get lucky enough so that it pushes you through the wall on the right. So this may take a while. I might even go and grab the first aid kit, because, yeah, like, ideally you want to get through with more than 10 HP, because otherwise there's a risk of dying still. But yeah, just as long as you get through. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so like that. As I said, it's pretty random, but basically the more speed you have running into that gap, the better. So, like, you don't really just wanna stay next to it and walk into it. You kind of wanna, like, get a bit of a run up. Oh, so I noticed my thing is, there we go. Okay. That was weird. So yeah, and you kind of just wanna, like, force yourself into the barrel, so, like, try walking more towards the barrel than, like, the wall. I think that's like all the tips I can give you for this, really. Now for the next part, you wanna walk up to this. You really want to be careful when out of bounds around here, by the way, because wait, let me do a save state. And now you don't really want to go this way, because there's like a trigger that, well, there's a door. Yeah, there's a trigger that makes you fall. Now if you go this way, then you, like, this room will load, and you are basically soft locked, because god damn it, because the door on this side is locked, and on the other side there's a fire that you can't put out because you don't have the... I mean, actually, you can just go this way, so, I mean, theoretically, but, yeah, since you haven't pushed the barrel all the way, you won't be able to get back, so, yeah, I mean, it's essentially a soft log at this point. So, what do you want to do, ideally? Because one more thing that can happen is if you get launched like really fast, you can immediately start falling. Now I don't really have a backup for that, but what's probably your best bet is something similar to what I'm gonna do here. So you wanna walk up to this wall, something like this, so the background turns blue and like the left side kind of deloads there. Speaking of which, don't walk towards that corner while it's deloaded, because that puts you back in bounds. I'm fairly sure. Yeah, like it kind of just pushes you through the wall. Instead, take out the compass. Now position the arrow like ever so slightly right of the N and just keep tapping up on the D-pad until hopefully I'm going the right way. Should be going the right way. Wait. Maybe I wasn't too much, like I was more to the right there. You just want it like slightly right. Maybe too much. There's more ways to get back in bounds actually, but yeah, okay, that should be fine. Just basically you wanna see the room with all the furnaces flash below you. Now, okay, so I've landed like between, because basically there's like you can see the furnaces on the left and the coal, whatever it is, like coal piles or something on the right, and you can see that I can't like move towards it because the ceiling is a bit higher, and ideally, at least from my experience, it's easier to get it while you're standing on one of the higher ceilings, as opposed to where I am right now, but it should be possible either way. Let me make a save state again. Also, a quick thing to notice is that when you land here, sometimes you can just get pushed off immediately and just fall through. I mean, you probably know this unless it's the first out of bounds you are learning for some reason. But basically, if you fall through, you just have to wait, and you eventually wrap around the map and have another try. Alright, so once you are on top of here, you wanna like land on one of these furnaces and kind of just force your way through the wall. It's probably the worst part about this trick, because yeah, it's like the slidey physics really doesn't help this much. But yeah, okay, so I'm not on the greatest spot because yeah, that's why I mentioned before, at least I think I mentioned it, that you want to have at least 10 HP, because what can happen if you clip like I just did is that you can stand like around here and you immediately get hit by the fire as the cutscene starts, which takes 10 damage, so yeah, it would kill you. and respawn you either at the checkpoint or at the start, which is obviously not ideal. Anyway, now you can just finish up the level as normal. Just go that way, pull the lever and get into the sub. But of course the emulator is gonna crash. God damn it, man. I wanna show off like skipping the cutscene trigger there, but I might have to fall through the map one more time. Let me... Oh, there it was. Okay, so... Yeah, there we go. So... yeah, like, unless you are too close to that door, you won't trigger the cutscene over here at all, so you can just safely walk around without risking any damage. Also, you can just walk inside of these furnaces, because, like, the covers are not supposed to be there, considering they fly off in the cutscene. Anyway, as I said, you can just go over here and just finish up the level as you normally would. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to this level currently. Stuff might change in the future, because it has for a few of these games levels recently. Even though I'm not expecting much of a change happening in this level, maybe like different setups for the out of bounds movement, because there's at least one more way of getting back in bounds, but it's a lot less convenient than the one I showed you. So yeah, like as always, you can just mess with it and see what works best for you. But yeah, hopefully this is gonna help some people at least. I wasn't expecting it to be an 18-minute recording, but yeah, well, I mean, I might make these, like all these guides that I've made recently, into like a more comprehensible guides, I suppose, like edit them down so I don't just talk random stuff for a lot of it. But yeah, well, anyway, that's gonna be it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.